What is going on, everyone? CG Jr. here, coming back with episode 3 of our RuneScape Pure Series, where on our last episode we have finally accomplished and achieved the Fire Cape. I'm super excited to start episode 3 on Castle Wars, which is something that I've been wanting to do for a few episodes now, so let's get right in it. So I'm going to use the Ring of Dueling to teleport myself over to Castle Wars. I'm going to show you guys some of the rewards that Lanthus offers for 1 defense pures. As the bottom row is the only thing is really important for 1 defense. We're looking at the Decorative Mage set, the Decorative Range set, and then the 3 Halos. The only thing I'm really interested in really grinding out personally for myself is really just probably the Decorative top, whether it be range or magic, and then the halo. The halo is just so crucially important, especially when we want to grind out and farm Zilliana or Ceridome God Wars boss, and or Zamorak, so I can use that towards the Bandos room. So really, of the two things, those are probably the most things I want to get is the range decorative top and then the halo. So I'm going to be doing a lot of voiceovers on this as there's just so much information I wanted to capture while playing the game that I was trying to capture and talk about right then and there, but the video ended up being about a little over 2 hours. So this is pretty much about 2 or 3 hours of clips that I've just really dumbed down to just about 20 some minutes. So to go into some information, Castle Wars minigame is really fun. It's essentially just capture the flag. You're going from one side of the team to the other, and you're pretty much just trying to imitate the other team's castle, grab their flag, and take it back to your own base. It's pretty much a simple concept. Now, playing Castle Wars, there's so much good and bad that you're able to see, especially when you have to grind out that many tickets. You're playing the game for so many hours. Like, it's like over 10 hours you're pretty much playing the game. Whether you want to play the consecutively or not, the games just to get the tickets to afford the halos and the decorative tops is, it's going to take you a while. What I started noticing is kind of what you see here. I just started noticing a lot of players just kind of like camping in a certain area, and I just thought, well, maybe they're just doing it, in just that one spot. But then I started really dissecting the game, and I started just really noticing a lot of players just would just camp this entire minigame and not really do anything at all. It became a problem to me because this is a minigame that's been around for such a long time. I remember playing it back in '07. It was just a fun game to play, and to see players that are really not contribute, just to not make the game fun or just kind of like stay inactive, it really ruins it for a lot of other players. And for me, I just wish that Jagex would look into this. I can't remember how many years, but they actually took a look at pest control and they made a lot of reworks because it was essentially the same concept as what we're doing in Castle Wars. Back in the day in pest control, when you would play a game, you essentially would be allowed to just go into a game and just sit there in AFK for the entire time. As long as you didn't get logged out, you can pretty much just camp at the beginning of the base and not contribute whatsoever and still earn points at the end of the game. That's since changed. Pest Control is a game where you have a progress bar and pretty much an activity bar, basically. If you're inactive for longer than I think a minute or two, activity meter drops down to 0. You will not get any points at the mini game. This is something that is not apparent in Castle Wars. For Castle Wars, they pretty much made it so each round is 20 minutes. Now, think about that. 20 minutes. You have to wait 20 minutes just to get a ticket. In those 20 minutes, as long as you stay logged in, you'll automatically get 1 ticket. If your team happens to do really well and you guys happen to win at the very end, you guys will get 3 tickets. But there's no progress meter, there's no activity meter that you have to keep up. As long as you can just stay logged in for the entire time, you'll get tickets. And that was my frustration doing this entire game, as I'll see players just kind of chilling on the top of my base, doing absolutely nothing. You're just AFKing, just like collecting points and tickets at the very end. It just really like made me frustrated. I don't understand how that can be, really tolerated in a mini game like this. Like I wish they would make some reworks. I wish they would make some changes. To me, that would be one of the biggest changes. I think maybe there's a few concepts that maybe Jagex can look into. Maybe shortening the amount of the duration of the games, as 20 minutes does seem quite a bit for you to do, and for you to stay active the entire 20 minutes, I guess it might be a hard task to do. But having players just stay logged in and not really contribute, as you can see here in the left, look, there's just a guy just sitting with the ring of stone, just doing nothing, and he would just, it's actually a really safe spot. The reason why players do that is they know that players won't purposely attack anybody in that area, hardly ever, and they just kind of sit there and just really not doing anything at all. So that was just kind of my pet peeves about the game. Is I wish Jagex would look back into the minigame and really just change up what they can really do as far as the the activity meter or activity bar to really make it easier. Now, I'm not gonna lie. In the midst of me doing all this stuff, I was taking time to, record my other videos. I was trying to take time to edit them. So while it was beneficial to me, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not gonna front. Having, only being able to stay logged in as long as your account was active was pretty nice. I could just AFK for 10 minutes at a time, not really do anything, and just spend that time to edit my videos, go to the bathroom, whatever I needed to do, and I didn't have to stay active the entire time. So that was one pro about having a 10-minute logout time that the minigame won't kick you out of. So that was something that I was really interested. And another thing is, if you get logged out for whatever reason, let's just say you were inactive for about maybe 6 or 7 minutes, and your account got logged out, you would be allowed to get logged back into the game that you were in unless it ended. But you would be able to get logged back in, still be qualified to receive the tickets for that round. So it was pretty cool. But this is something it really just bothered me. You would have just players just kind of sitting in the corners, just not doing anything at all, and it's like almost tolerated. Like there's no punishments for you just kind of just sitting there. For the people who are actually trying to play this minigame legit, there's no penalty just for camping. So that was one thing I wish I could fix. Another thing is I noticed that there's just a lot of players, like max level players, like level 126s, that just pretty much kind of dominate the Castle Wars game. I'm still trying to figure it out, as far as which CC they're a part of, because I know that there's a group out there, because it's the same level 126s that are playing this minigame 24 hours, 7 days a week. I'm not even kidding. When I was playing this game, it was the same people for every single hour, and it's like I was trying to figure out if there was like a pattern I should be looking out for, because it just doesn't make sense to me. It was just, pures sitting here, and like most of them sometimes won games, then they lost games, and I was just trying to figure out if there was one person that was a part of a clan that was always getting tickets. But I never really found a correlation between the 126s and the CCs. Maybe you guys can offer some insight onto that if you guys know of any Castle Wars clans out there that offer to sell wins for the team so you can get your Castle Wars armor faster. But when I was grinding out this minigame, I just always noticed the same amount of players, and I just always thought it was just really strange to me. But I guess that's pretty much all the pros and cons about the minigame. Again, it's a pretty straightforward game. You're pretty much just attacking the other players, taking the other player's flag, and doing what you can to really help out the minigame. An item that I actually found that was really helpful, actually I started noticing that I started using actually a little bit later into the game, is the Castle Wars bracelet. That's actually a really good item to have for all of the matches. What it'll basically do is, once you have the Castle Wars bracelet, once you enter from the lobby into the main game, it'll consume one charge, and with the charge you'll actually be able to deal 20% more damage to the person holding the flag. So for example, let's just say someone has stolen a flag from our team. I'm able to do 20% more damage to the enemy holding our flag, as well as every bandage that I use or consume will heal 50% more. Than a regular bandage without the charge. And another cool thing to note is, once you already consume the charge from the bracelet itself, you're actually able to take it off, and the entire effect of the set effect of the bracelet will actually continue until the remaining rest of the match. So it's actually really cool. You can actually unequip it and then equip either your Mithril gloves, combat bracelet. You can equip a Barrow's gloves depending on your account, and just start using that for the rest of the game. So you don't have to compensate not being able to use the best gloves for your account. You're able to use just that for the rest of the match. So for those out there who are asking, yourselves, how long would it take me to accomplish, what if I am able to do, a ton of games every single hour? Well, I can honestly tell you guys right now, you're really realistically able to do about 2 games an hour, maybe a third game in between, because each match takes 20 minutes plus a 5-minute waiting period. So really, for 2 games, it's going to be about 50 minutes, and then maybe 10 minutes into your third game. So realistically, you can expect, let's just say you win and lose every single every other match. So you're getting about 4 tickets an hour. Best case scenario, this could realistically take you, just to get the decorative top and halo, take you about 28, 29 hours. I did the math, and I did all my recordings. I looked back to see how long it took, and it took me a lot of hours to complete, and it was something that it could be really worth it. Again, it's the best in slot. The decorative armors don't offer any negative bonuses, so that's a really big plus. Not only that, like I said before, the halo itself does a really intensely good job, as it's an armor set that provides prayer bonus. It counts as a Zamorak item, and it offers really good defensive stats for a 1 defense pure. So it is highly recommended that each account, attempt to, every pure account, try to get it, because it could be really useful, especially when you want to grind out later in the God Wars dungeon, whether you want to use it just for maybe soloing DKs. There's so many applications that these armor sets can be utilized. And alright, so that's pretty much it for me. I'm just going to keep the video running and kind of show you some highlight clips of my entire time playing the minigame, and hope you guys enjoy my video series, and hopefully at the very end we'll show some clips of me hopefully finally getting the Castle Wars halo and then decorative armor. my goodness, 30 some hours later, I finally unlocked the Castle Wars Decorative Range Top and the Zamorak Halo, two huge items on the account. It's going to be really great for PVMing and PKing in the future. I think the way I'll be uploading my videos from here on out is just uploading just progress videos on the progression of the account, just kind of taking you on my journey. From where I'm at right now and just going in the future, versus just doing one standalone video on just one topic or just doing just one thing. Just be a variety of different things to keep you guys involved, keep you guys engaged on the different things that I've been working on and things I want to do. So super excited. On my next video, guys, please do not forget, I will be uploading one of the coolest fashionscapes that you guys send me on my next video, and to really showcase some of the cool things that you guys have on your accounts and some of the cool accomplishments. So I'm super excited, and once I complete the quest on the account, I'll do some live streams so you guys can be with me while I take down the boss and start racking up the kill count. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos. I really do appreciate the views, the likes, subscribes, anything to really help out the channel. I really do appreciate it. Anytime you will comment, you guys, I'll make sure to comment back and give you guys a like. To end the video off, I actually wanted to show off one of my favorite outfits on my Pure account that I've recently achieved. Obviously, considering I just completed the Castle Wars, got to include that on my fashionscape. It's such a nice color. I think the yellow and the blue is just a good mix, and when you add that with like the fire cape, mithril gloves, ranger boots, and the T-boat, it just really completes the look. I really wish that Jagex would include options for Pures as far as like different colors for like boots, because I feel like there's such a good opportunity to match the blue with like the boots, or like making it a different color, just something that would kind of like put the whole outfit together. But I think this is, at least for now, one of the coolest things, because it's not something you can just purchase. These are things you have to achieve, and that's one of the coolest things I love about it, is that you can't just go to the GE and buy a decorative armor. You can't go to the GE and buy a Zami Halo or a mithril gloves. Like, you kind of have to work towards it, and that's what kind of makes the account unique, and this is actually what makes the account really awesome. I think the last thing I really want to add is maybe an anguish onto the account, but I'll need 75 HP, which I'm sitting at 72 right now. But, you know, this is the closest thing I'll get to it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.